Alright guys, so today we got a nice simple install for the Turbo Corolla, and it is an addition to the interior upgrades that I've been doing to this car, and it's in this little package. Alright, so in the package is a USB port for this car. So actually it's for pretty much any Toyota that has the same outlet size. It's pretty much where your blank outlets would be on the Toyota is where this would go. So this pretty much has a USB 3, a USB-C, as well as a voltmeter to tell you the voltage of your car. It'll also tell you if your phone is charging or if it's fully charged or whatever. Inside the box, the little adapter that has the plugs, and then it has a little screen that'll show you the volt. And then this, luckily with the Toyota, this is a plug-and-play adapter for where the cigarette lighter goes. So this will plug into the cigarette lighter, piggyback off of it, and then this will get power as well. So let's hop in the car and figure out where we're going to put this. So for this car, I was thinking about putting it over here, but as you see, I have a switch already, which I originally, when I first bought this car, I had no idea what this was, and I found out it's like a dealer accessory for Bluetooth phone calls. And then the microphone is actually up here. It kind of looks like an aftermarket solution. I mean, and this was before the time of Bluetooth radios were installed, so this is what they ended up putting in as well. I don't really want to get rid of this, so I will probably move this over to one of these switches, and then I will put the USB port right here, over here. So, like I said, don't want to really get rid of this. I mean, it's cool, dealer option, blah, blah, blah. So it's in here. It works if I want to. I just want to put this somewhere, honestly, more convenient for the driver to answer phone calls. But even though I don't ever use this, but if someone happened to ever use this, I still want it to be available to be used. So we're going to swap that, put that over here. Hopefully there's enough cable behind here to actually get that over there. And then this will plug in over here because the cigarette lighter that it's going to tap into is right here. So let's start pulling off all the trim and then get access to this stuff so that way we can see what else we need to do. So we're going to want to pop off these two side panels here. They're just held in with a few clips, and if you tug on them, it should come out. And then there's going to be two Phillips screws here, as well as we're probably going to want to pop off this. Like I said, there's two Phillips screwdrivers. Hopefully we can do this without having to take the radio out. So if you can see in here, the cigarette lighter plugs in right here, and this just piggybacks. So this will plug into the cigarette lighter, and then this will piggy off of the plug there. So that'll be simple here. So, but with the additional stuff here, I'm gonna pop this stuff off so that way I can take this plug out here. I got one of these off. If you go aftermarket with these, they're actually really hard to take off. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna assume it's probably just because the clips are so stiff, but I feel like I'm gonna break them, but I didn't, so. But this other one on this side is a lot harder to get to because there's no easy way to pry on it without ruining anything. So when I was actually trying to do this, it seems like these are probably the clips that are in there really tight. So this kind of snapped off when I did it. But the actual trim piece seems fine. So I think I have replacement ones of these. I'm gonna try to find, and then I'll swap it over. But now that you got that done, now we should be able to loosen up everything. All that work pretty much just to pop out the climbing controls and stuff. The issue is the radio is snapped into the climate controls, so in order to get that out, you kind of have to maneuver everything else out. But then this whole piece, you'll have to kind of pop off in series, so that way then you can get to the AC vents. Then we can get to the main thing right here, which is, so it looks like on mine it kind of goes the opposite direction. So now I got to back trace this wire to wherever it's receiving power at, which kind of looks like a million zip ties are in here. So let me figure out what I have to cut, and then we can try to run this through the opposite direction. In the process of running the, I was just looking up, it's called the Blue Logic system that Toyota offered in cars that did not have a Bluetooth built into the radio. And so pretty much took it from there, routed the new wire, and then brought it up over here. So everything is good there. But in the process, and I didn't realize when I took this apart, I ended up breaking the button. So there's a very thin plastic piece that connects the buttons together, and it happened to break off. As well as when I took this off, there were 2 squeeze tabs in here, and those also broke off. So this will fit in there, but it's loose. So in the process of me routing everything and taking this apart and wanting to save this, I ended up ruining it. So I did look up, the issue is these aren't that common, so I did look up a button, and the piece costs almost $50 for the button. I'm not sure if I want to save this or not, or spend the $50 for something I don't even use. I was just trying to keep it because it was original to the car. But if you guys know anywhere where I can get one of these for fairly cheap, let me know. But the cheapest I could find was from a Toyota website that was selling just the button itself and the short 6-inch cable that plugs in there for $50. So let's move on to the actual reason why we're here, is to put this in here. So let's pretty much, now everything's all taken apart, so this should be pretty much easy to unplug the cigarette lighter, plug this in, plug this back into the cigarette lighter, and then snap this right into the connector. So during the installation of this, this thing, it fits really nicely inside of here, so don't get me wrong on that, but the back side is a little tight, and it'll require you to trim one of these little tiny tabs off. I just pretty much scored it with a razor blade, and then I got in there and just broke it off, and then that let it slide in and fit really good. So don't think it's going to be loose at all, because it's really snug in there. But I think maybe on my car it could be different, because these actually look slightly different over here on this car, but on this one it's slightly different, and I think when you push that in, it's way tighter than what it normally would be. So it's snug in there, don't have to worry about it. Connections are good. So I was going to turn on the car just to make sure everything is working good. So as you can see, battery percentage is showing right up there, which is a good thing. Let me grab a phone charger and make sure the charger is working good too. Alright, so plugging this in, it is charging my phone, so that is a plus, and that's all I'm looking for. So before, I always had to either use a cigarette adapter to go here, or one to go inside the armrest. But now that I have one right here, super convenient, works good, and it tells me the battery voltage. And then testing out the other USB-C one, I double checked that. That seems to be working good too. So you can have 2 cables plugged in at once to charge your devices. So everything is a win-win here, except for me breaking my button here to a ancient product that not many people sell anymore. But yeah, let me know down below if your Corolla came with one of these or not, if it was built in. But which is a cool thing to have, but like I said, not needed, and I might not even keep it. So, but with that being said, if you guys are interested in picking up one of these, I will be putting a link down below to this. And they also sell them, if you don't want a USB-C and a USB 3, you can get 2 USBs, or you can get it without the voltmeter and everything like that as well. So, but yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. After a little bit of messing around, I just put a little hot glue around this. to get this to stick back together. Again, this is something I'm never going to use, but I just wanted to keep it because it was original to the car. So once I put this in, you're never going to see it. And the buttons, they all still work. So they're just a little bit stuck together because of the glue, but nothing that, like I said, this is just a temporary fix. I probably will eventually buy the new one. I just don't want to spend $50 right now on something I don't use. But sooner or later I might do that. But I'm gonna put this back in, and then this will look pretty much back to OEM. So what's cool about the Blue Logic is these pretty much just act as like a secondary volume for the Bluetooth. And then you can obviously turn up and down the volume as required. And then I'm assuming if you get a phone call, you could just press this and it would answer a phone call. So interesting technology back in the day for 2010, how they were trying to implement Bluetooth into a non-Bluetooth radio car. So, but yeah, very interesting. Thought I would just show that on how this is actually working.